Okay, hello YouTube. It's the Canadian Greek coming at you with Ison update number 9. A lot has happened in the past 4 or 5 days. Unfortunately, I haven't been home very much, so I haven't had an opportunity to bring you guys up to speed. Let's begin with Bruce Gary's website. This is Bruce Gary's site, and he's still he's still the best source for Comet Ison information, despite the fact that he is only an amateur. He does a very exceptional job. Now, let's have a look. Comet Ison, if you remember my previous updates, I think it's the last one that showed that there was a massive CME about to, or pointed towards Ison, and right on cue, Ison erupts and goes up by an order of 3 magnitudes. It went from an 8.5 to a 5.5. Okay, and this is the RC magnitude. Okay, let's go down here, and it shows it from 5.5 to 8.5. That's an order of 3 magnitude jump. It says here, be patient as I update this table with recent magnitude measurements. I'm overwhelmed with data now. Red entries are total RC magnitude from use of elliptical photometry aperture, APT. Green entries are total V magnitude. Indicated mags are uncertain, but we'll take your word for it, Gary. In any case, at 5.5, total magnitude, that is naked eye or unaided eye visible. It is visible without any aid, without any binoculars or anything in the sky now. You can see it with a good pair of binoculars. You should be able to have a good view of it if you don't have a telescope. Again, Gary comes up with the best images, some of the best work. This is a true color. This is a true color image based on 39 B band and 34 V band, 29 R band images, 20-second exposures using an 11-inch Celestron telescope. Okay. Again, and the GIF. And here we have 20 scar model spatial structure enhancement by B, V, and R images using LS filter after 4x4 subpixelation. At all 3 bands, there appear to be jet structures, which in the case of R band responsive to dust, are swept back into filaments that join the tail. Okay, obviously Ison has exploded with action. I'm glad that Bruce Gary has decided not to discontinue with his website. I find his work interesting and informative. Okay, he and I have disagreed in the past, based on front-facing jets. If you guys look at my previous updates, you'll see what I mean. But I'm glad that he's kept up with it. One of the best websites, if you want to visit, is Bruce Gary's website. I will post all the links again to this video in the comment box. If you want to come and visit this site, excellent work. Another small CME has been popped off towards in the direction of Ison. Okay. I don't know what that's going to mean for Ison, if that's going to cause it to flare up even further or not. But that previous CME that was fairly large, we saw what that did. An order of 3 magnitude gained for Ison. Another picture of Ison from my second favorite photographer for Ison is Michael Yeager. Beautiful picture of Comet Ison. It did go blue for a time. Now it's gone back to green again, and its tail structure. Okay, another little side note. Remember NASA's Deep Impact satellite, the one that failed right when it was supposed to take some very close-up images of Ison? You guys remember that? Well, now this one has come back to life. Wow, surprise, surprise. Just at the time NASA's Deep Impact satellite would capture detailed images of Comet Ison, NASA lost contact with Deep Impact spacecraft. And after months of radio silence, NASA declared the end of Deep Impact Comet mission. The spacecraft's handlers lost contact with Deep Impact sometime between August 11th and August 14th. Mission team members announced September 3rd. After 2 weeks of defeating radio silence, Deep Impact, as well as engineers, have tried unsuccessfully to regain contact with the vessel for a month, have led NASA to conclude the Deep Impact vessel will explore no more, and finally admitted defeat and announced the end of the mission. The cause of the failure was unknown, but engineers suspect the spacecraft lost control, causing its antenna and solar panels to point in the wrong direction. Without power flowing to its onboard computer, Deep Impact's battery and propulsion systems have frozen, causing it to spin out of control through the solar system. The issue stems from a software glitch that reset Deep Impact's computer. It's unclear how much time the mission team has to bring Deep Impact back in line. Depending on how the space probe's solar panels are oriented, Deep Impact's batteries could run out of juice in a matter of days or keep going for several months, the Nature News blog reported. How long we have depends on the state the spacecraft is in. We don't yet know that, Ahern told Space.com. Could be that it's too late already. Could be we have another month or more. Now, November, guess what? The impossible has become possible again. NASA's Deep Impact comes back to life. Here it says, I have a feeling we are not being told the whole story. It looks as if Deep Impact has not missed a beat, despite NASA claiming to have lost control in September. It's still right on schedule. Well, of course. Back in September, of course, it was supposed to take detailed images, and that would have been around the time in September, October, when it was supposed to be very near Mars. Okay. So anybody following what I do, you know that around Mars we're supposed to have a once in 3,000 year event wherein when a comet would be very close to a planet. We're supposed to observe some very unique, it was a very unique moment in time, which of course they did, but they did not share it with the rest of the world. I don't believe that they lost contact with Deep Impact for 1 second, much less for months, and now magically they've gotten control of it once again. What a load of malarkey. Anyways, these are the kinds of images that Deep Impact is supposed to be able to obtain. This is Temple 1 and Hartley 2. By the way, these images, on these images, does anybody see any kind of, frozen gases, snow, ice, anything that would explain sublimation of these materials that cause comas? I see nothing. I see energetic reactions. They even fired. Well, I'm not even going to go into that right now. But anyways, I think that the dirty snowball theory is really meeting its demise. It does not explain anything that's happening to comets or why they react or why they behave the way they do. The electric comet theory seems to be making its strides forward all the time. It explains far more about comets than the dirty snowball theory. The solar flare, or the CME, the coronal mass ejection, that was fired towards Ison has caused a significant jump in magnitude. It's caused the comet to literally flare up, an order of 3 magnitude. That is consistent with the electric comet model, and it has nothing to do, the dirty snowball theory explains nothing, absolutely nothing. I think it's time to move into the 21st century. I think it's time to put aside stupid theories from the 1930s. We no longer believe that the world is flat. We no longer believe that the sun revolves around the earth. Science dictates that things are not that way, that things are different. And science also dictates that the electric comet model is far superior and explains a lot more about cometary behavior than the dirty snowball bullshit theory. Okay? So let's move into the 21st century, folks. I don't know what scientists struggle to explain cometary behavior as long as they continue to cling to dirty snowballs, which is absolute nonsense. And, considering the fact that we have pictures and we have data that obviously state that there is no such thing going, or there's not no such thing going on in space. There are no dirty snowballs. There are no dirty snowballs, and the cometary behavior can be explained through the electric comet model. I don't know. I don't understand the resistance, but hey, this is what it is. As long as we keep hammering at scientists to move ahead and to, possibly revise our textbooks and what we learned in school, I think that only then will we be able to move ahead with what we need to do in the future. Now, as for the trajectory of Comet Ison, I have seen some various videos and information that some are interesting, some are just absolute, nonsense. Again, I will say it one more time, I will place absolutely no faith in any trajectory given to us right now. I don't believe Ison, by the way, is going to break up. I've seen plenty of videos and plenty of information and read several articles that suggest that it is in the midst of a breakup or it's going to break up, and I don't know. I will buy none of that right now. As far as I'm concerned, Ison is still in one piece, by the way. I see no evidence that it is breaking up as of yet, despite its, I guess, well, you want to call it an inflammation, you want to call it an expansion, you want to call it an explosion. It itself has not exploded, okay? It has increased its activity, but that's all that I see so far. I see no evidence that it itself is breaking up, okay? This is the Canadian Greek. I'm out.